The last part of defining Zion I had on here was just recognizing that Zion has happened multiple times throughout the course of history. There are Zions of old, multiple Zions. We normally think of Zion, City of Enoch. That's like the one that jumps.
The obvious one.
It's obvious. Garden of Eden, right, was already a type of Zion, right? We already had man walking and conversing with God, right? There's already a perfected origin to society. So the Garden of Eden is already kind of a symbol or a Zion in and of itself. Then, of course, we have Enoch, which Zion, that was translated and perfected. Melchizedek also had a system of Zion that he instituted, and he was the great high priest of that Zion. Ancient Israel was a type of Zion, an attempt of Zion, where Moses was establishing a society that was political and economic and social, all these aspects. Of course, they didn't attain to the fullness of the Melchizedek. You can still see
the groundwork was being laid for it.
Right, groundwork of Zion.
Yeah.
In the New Testament, right, we see after the resurrection that the church definitely was applying consecrated principles of having all things in common. There's even chastisement of those who were being stingy and not consecrating, and like the Lord killing them for breaking their covenant of consecration. Even it's pretty dramatic.
It is pretty dramatic.
It should make you pause and contemplate on that covenant. The Nephites, I think we see Zion society several times throughout the Book of Mormon. But the most obvious is, of course, after Christ's visit in the Americas, that there were centuries of a successful Zion.
Yeah, having all things in common.
And of course, in our dispensation, we have the Missouri attempt, which was short-lived. And then, of course, we have the modern attempt, which we have to finish what Joseph Smith started with the restoration, right? That's what we are charged with today, is to build Zion now. And that's in process. Yeah. That's in process. And again, down here, I said Zion is built and exists in parallel to Babylon. So in all of these cases, right, there's always opposition. Zion is always built in the midst of iniquity. So Enoch, right, iniquity, they were spared from the flood, essentially. They were translated prior, but before that, right, that doesn't mean a lot of iniquity. Yes, there was iniquity all about. Of course, ancient Israel, right, fled from Egypt. Yeah. New Testament, of course, Rome, Nephites, Lamanites, Missouri, of course, all the political. Well, it's opposition. It's important for us to understand that too, because we, as you mentioned earlier, we tend to get this idea and this concept in our mind that Zion's going to be this utopia where everything's easy. And what we continue to kind of hearken back to and testify to people is Zion, and what will be utopia about it is not that there won't be opposition. There will certainly be opposition always and forever. That's eternal. But what makes Zion so amazing is that everyone has developed the attributes and the ability to overcome, just as Christ was able to. That's why he's the ultimate example, because you're able to live within that opposition, but choose the good each time. You're constantly choosing to live the celestial law, the celestial standard. And that's through your own agency. You're not forced, and it's not a lack of opposition. And that's really what's utopia about it, is you have a set of people who have chosen and developed the ability to live celestial law amongst the opposition. And it's done through covenant. Yes. Voluntarily. Yep. Right? There's no coercion. It's just a people that have developed their heart and the willingness to live in that way and to pursue that. Yeah.